Hi folks, this is Mr. MegaManFan. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know all the things to do. Now you might see over here I did a previous video on the Amiga CD32, which I noted in the title is a console that requires a lot of patience, and if you're the angry video game nerd, a paint can. Well, I've gotten my CD32 repaired, and I'm going to talk about that in this video, the changes that were made, the features that I'll be able to try out upcoming, but I definitely don't need a paint can to turn this thing on. Let's do it. You're going to see it live. Yep, it works beautifully now, and let's talk about what's new. So as you can see from this box, I got a whole bunch of parts back along with the things that are repaired. So I'm going to put a note in the description of the video if Tristan gives me the website or contact info for the person who did these repairs. If not, it'll just have to be a mystery because I don't know if they have the time to be doing repairs on a full-time basis. I don't know if that's their business or they were just doing this as a favor to him. But I bought the console from him and he felt bad that things weren't working. So he contacted, quote, a buddy in Texas, and that's where things stood. So these are alternate D-pads that his buddy 3D printed, and I can swap these in for the one that's currently on the controller. All of the D-pad functions are now working as they're supposed to. So I'm very happy with that. But that's not all he did. You see how there's a back plate that's no longer on the CD32? Well, I had to remove that to use the SCART connection cable converter, but it was always just kind of dangling around loose in the back. It wasn't securely on there, even with the plate off and the SCART converter inserted into the back. He 3D printed the new D-pads, but he also 3D printed a bracket to hold that SCART converter into place. Isn't that just beautiful? And as you can see, the SCART cable is running out. Well, it's hooked up to the audio here, but it's hooked up to the video here through the converter. And that's running out to my SCART to HDMI converter box that I got on Amazon, which is now providing us a crystal clear picture. No PAL to NTSC issues thanks to the SCART converter and the SCART adapter. So if you are going to get into CD32, which for many reasons I don't know if I would recommend it, but if you were going to do that, this would definitely be a way to go to get video out for most modern televisions, because very few of us have PAL compatible TVs, and some people don't even have any kind of SCART cable connections they can use, so they would need a converter box even if they did have that video out option. There is more though. Let's go back over to this box here, because there's something else in the box that we can use in the future. According to Tristan, this will give it the functionality of a full Commodore Amiga computer. And it's in this static bag, but apparently if I just slot it into the back through the 3D printed bracket, I can use this board, which is called Terrible Fire, and I can unlock full Amiga functionality on the CD32. It's a RAM plus IDE board, so it's a full upgrade for a CD32. That's just wild to me. I didn't ask for this when I wanted a working console. This just got thrown in as a bonus, so thank you for that. And apparently you can even load games via a compact flash to SD card adapter. And I have no expertise on that, so I'm going to have to learn how to do that in a future video. And this looks like just a random 3D printed part that probably goes back on if you're not using the SCART adapter. Okay. That's everything that was in the box, but I have something else new here. This is the Control KTRL, which is an Amiga CD32 controller, which is designed like a Super Nintendo controller, down to the button orientation, select and start, and the D-pad, and the L and R shoulder buttons. You used to be able to get CD32 controllers in North America via the 8-bit guy, but he's been out of stock for a very long time. There was an Amiga enthusiast forum that I found that still sold these, but I had to order it from Europe, so I'm not surprised by that, given that Europe is the only place where I think the CD32 had any kind of traction whatsoever, so there's more of a scene for it there than there is here, which is one of the reasons that I say I don't necessarily recommend becoming a CD32 collector or enthusiast unless you are just a glutton for punishment, which apparently I am. But I've tested this controller as well. The up, down, LR, everything works as expected. Buddy's here. Buddy, say hello. You come to help me film my video. Or you've just come to smell everything because you heard noise and got curious. I'm sure Ryan will be very happy to see you. I am too. I will start with a game that relies on up to jump. This is Shadow Fighter, one of the only 2 CD32 games that I currently own. Although, if CDRs work, I suppose I could give one a try. But also I'm told the compact flash thing is the way to go for loading CD32 games, so I might end up doing that instead. I can tell refurbishing this and getting a new power supply were both worthwhile investments of time because it looks and sounds better. Everything about it is working much better now. Even the console itself looks cleaner than it did before. Now this is kind of a Street Fighter ripoff, but every home console of the era needed a Street Fighter or a Mortal Kombat, so I'm not saying that being a Street Fighter ripoff is a bad thing. I'm saying that's preferable to no thing existing at all. As a reminder, that first jump is not me. Much better. See if I can just win one round and then we'll switch to the other game that I have. Not good. So we're going to a third and decisive round here. That initial jump is so weird. It's the only fighting game I've ever played where you start a round with a move that you don't control. I almost wonder if they did that for like legal reasons so that they wouldn't be accused of ripping off Street Fighter. Well, obviously it's not the same game. It doesn't start around the same way. Oh, I pulled that one out. Wasn't sure that was going to pay off, but I hung into that sliver of health and made it to the end. Not Carmen Electra, just Electra. Living on the streets taught her the hardest and greatest rule: self-preservation. So, that is our fighting game of the CD32, Shadow Fighter. I'm going to pause it now, turn the system off, and we're going to switch to the only other game that I own. And see, we don't get the boot up music this time because there was already a game in the drive when we turned it on, so it's going straight to the game. You may remember seeing footage of this from the first CD32 video, because I was actually able to get into the game a little bit once I got the power cord at the right angle. But what I didn't know at the time was that up was not working. So the fact that I was even able to negotiate the menus without being able to use up was kind of a miracle. Now at least I can switch from one table to another if I want to. That's nice. It is what it is for me, since I'm converting a PAL signal through a SCART cable to a SCART to HDMI to a television, so I'm willing to live with certain dull colors being brighter than they should be, or vice versa. So if that's the case, and you're expecting more vibrant or less vibrant colors because you're a European CD32 enthusiast, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about that. Oh! Terrible physics on that. It just bounced straight up and then straight out. Didn't quite make the ramp there. Or there. Oh! Wow. Alright, let's see if I can hit a ramp. Oh, almost hit it straight down the pipe. Like that. I think I've got one ball left. Or no, I've got two balls left, I think. Ah, nice. Shooting ramps is what pinball is all about. Nice. I'm getting pretty good at that one shot, but I need to learn how to hit some of these other targets too. There we go. Got a nice little loop-de-loop. Nice thing about most pinball home games is you get better at them over time as you learn the layout of the table and how to angle your flippers for particular shots. Your first game is going to suck, but each time you play, it's going to get a little bit better than the last time. Almost got the second loop there, but not quite. Kind of ricocheted my way into one there. Combo. Oh, yeah. Yes, made the loop. Shoot right ramp to bust drug dealers. I will try. Oh, shoot. That's going to end the bonus. Oh, apparently I started a two-player game. No wonder I have more balls left than I thought. Ball locked. Nice. One more for a multi-ball. Oh! And that's not going to happen. Game over. And I think that's game over for this video as well. Buddy, come here. Yes. Good boy. Buddy, you want a treat? Come on. Come on. That's a good boy. So handsome. Such a good boy. Please don't get up there. Come back down. Come back down for treats. Give you one more. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Don't want to spoil your appetite. Thank you. Come again.